Malvern Manor was a family-owned hotel that was built in the late 1800s. Just for $2 a night, anyone traveling on the train could stop and have a warm bed and warm meals for the night. With the rise of automobiles that was slowly killing train travel, the Malvern Hotel soon was forced to close down, then was converted to a convalescent home and a minimum care facility. For the duration the Malvern Manor was open, it housed patients ranging from alcoholics seeking treatment to schizophrenics. As you can imagine, with a wide range of disorders and disabilities, care wasn't always the greatest. Many horror stories have been shared by patients and staff about the abuse and neglect that happened during the years Malvern was open. The terrible mistreatment of the patients is one of the main reasons it closed down, and that the paranormal investigators believe it's become haunted by so many of those patients that are now haunting the manor. One of the more well-known spirits residing in the Malvern Manor is named Grace. She suffered from multiple personalities and schizophrenia. Grace spent her life living in the building until she eventually passed away. Evening staff would often hear, "The devil is coming to get me." Nurses would hear this from Gracie's room and prominently check on her, only to discover it's just Grace and one of her personalities known as the Man is present. To this day, Grace remains at the Malvern Manor. She seems to be a constant source of activity, with investigators receiving EVPs of Devilman in a gruff voice and an overwhelming feeling of being watched when you are in her room. Mary is another spirit who is said to reside in the manor. She was admitted by her husband at a relatively young age. She had become obsessed with the idea that he no longer found her attractive. Worried about his wife, he committed her to the Malvern Manor, hoping for some help. Sadly, it did not help. The staff would find Mary in front of her sink, ripping chunks of her hair out little by little. Mary was medicated. She slowly continued to deteriorate, dying slowly afterwards. Visitors often report seeing her standing in front of her mirror still, ripping out her hair with a look of hatred on her face.
So I kind of want to talk about the Shadow Man Hall. First, kind of want to talk about the history behind the Shadow Man. When we did our tour, we were told that the Shadow Man was actually a real story. What happened was that there was a patient that was in the facility at that time when it was a long-term type of mental health or addiction type building. This patient was actually convicted of murdering somebody. When he was there, the nurses were very scared of him. What would happen a lot of the times were that the patient would actually chase the nurses all the way down the hall. The nurses would run to the kitchen. As soon as they got to the kitchen, the patient would actually stop running just right at the threshold. He would not pass the threshold. And it seemed to happen all the time. He would run after him, chase him down that hall, into the kitchen. That's where he would stop. One day, in the wintertime, he got naked, ran outside, and disappeared. When he was found, he was brought to the hospital and later died.
To this day, the chase is still on. The shaman is still chasing after people, according to those unfortunate ones who witnessed this. Those who have witnessed this say that the shadow at the end of the hall, where his room is, you'll see a shadow walk by and he'll look at you. And then he'll chase after you and he'll stop when you get to the kitchen.
At one time we were actually investigating the Shadow Man Hall. I remember the whole time, so we were facing down towards the hall where the patient's room used to be. And behind me, the hall kept going further. I felt like something back was right behind me. Like I had to keep turning my head, because if I didn't turn my head, it was going to come up on me. So I actually stood with my back to the back of the wall so I could see down both halls. And the opposite side of the hall of the Shadow Man Hall, I kept seeing something. It was pitch black. Couldn't couldn't see anything, but it just felt like more shadow play. I felt like I was seeing something down there. And luckily for us, I did catch something on my my little action camera, or Ghost Pro.
Hello?
What's her name down there?
Mary.
Mary.
How do you know it's Mary? Have you heard the story about Mary?
Yes.
Huh?
Mary was brought here because she had some issues.
Oh, the hair puller?
Yeah.
Mary, are you down there? Mary, are you down there?
We think you're pretty.
If you see fog in your film at this time,
Alright.
it is not a mist.
Gracie, are you down there?
Are you feeling left out? Can you come and show yourself in front of one of our cameras that we have down here? We got a bunch of them. They won't hurt you.
Stop yawning, Amanda.
I can't help it.
Oh, I'm not trying.
When you yawn, it's because your brain needs more oxygen. Thank you very much.
Gracie, are any of your other personalities would they like to interact with us?
There you
That
go.
was
You
loud.
got your answer.
Just down there.
Why
What?
you gotta knock it down all the time, Travis? Just
What?
admit, Gracie has a crush on you.
What room are you in?
Can you make a noise in one of the rooms as loud as you can? Let us know which room you're in.
Gracie, that was you? You make a noise if you want Travis to come look see you? I heard a knock.
It was weird because I got a boot and killed. Over here.
Boot.
Yeah, boot and killed. Who killed you?
Who's got a boot on?
You know any French?
Parle français?
That's Italian, isn't it? Yeah.
Pizza is a word.
Why are you here?
Does it say spring?
Mm-hmm.
We had spring on the obelisk last night, me and Mark.
Your point?
I'm saying maybe they came here in the spring.
What is your
Look at that.
That
favorite?
doesn't answer the question, though.
What is your
Why are
favorite?
you here, spring?
What is your favorite season? Weather season.
Then, oh wow.
No, please feel free to drop kick Diane. Like, just up and smack her.
I would enjoy it.
Good lord.
I don't want that shadow person to just blow right through here and chase me, and I will run like a bitch to the kitchen.
News fart.
No, that's my stomach.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
it's so
telling you,
funny.
it's like evil.
Kind of ready to.
When we were there, so when we actually got to Malvern, I've investigated a lot of places, and some places I feel perfectly comfortable at. Some places I can feel things feel a little off. I don't feel right there. At Malvern, it was really weird. The whole time I was very paranoid, which was weird. Not normally that type of a person. A lot of the time, even setting up, like I felt like I was being followed. I had my head on the swivel, constantly looking over my shoulder. I felt like I was literally being pushed out, like I was being rushed everywhere I went. That whole time, like I did not feel good at all. Did not want to be by myself. Did not want to go in certain rooms. My anxiety was really high. It was like that through the whole place, and which was weird because I'm not that type of person. Like most times I can go in somewhere perfectly fine. I can be pitch black and be just fine in most situations. But for some reason with Malvern, it was just something was off, especially in the attic. The attic was another interesting place. Besides it being really, really hot, it was one of those places to where even with a little bit of light, I felt like there was things all around me. Jesus Christ. I felt like there was something there that didn't want me there, something that would want to get me down. Like even going down the steps. The steps are very, if you've ever been there, they're very, very narrow. They're not for the average sized person. I'm a big person, so I have to kind of go down sideways. But I almost felt like, being pushed down the hall or down the steps. But just an interesting place in itself, that just all kinds of things, like with some personal experiences and seeing stuff like in the Shadow Man Hall. Like I didn't see anything down by where they would see the Shadow Man, and a lot of it could have been too because there's three teams there. Me and Travis from North Star, and then we also had Northern Outer Realm Paranormal Society, and then Search for Spirits. So I think in total there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. There's a lot of people. So down in where the Shadow Man Hall was, there was tons of equipment up. I think there was probably 3 cameras. There's a motion sensor. So there's a lot going on down there. But on the other side of the hall, nobody had anything. Even when I walked down there, if you ever have experienced something, especially with like high EMF, electromagnetic field, with high EMF, you feel very anxious. You get goosebumps, your hair stands up, and as I got closer down towards the end of the hall, all kinds of stuff. Just did not feel good. Did not want to be there. Very paranoid. It was a very, very interesting place, to say the least. Yeah.
Sit still, really ain't too bad, man.
No, ain't too bad.
It's kind of nice listening to the rain.
Yeah.
On the roof.
Doesn't look like they get too many leaks.
It don't matter much to me who you are.
What was that?
You hear a little click back there?
Yeah.
I did too. Felt a cool breeze is coming through too.
Those little openings?
I don't know where it's coming from, but it just turned through here.
Let's say people bring a lot of beer up here and they have a beer with you. I don't know if anybody's ever actually asked you what's your favorite choice for your beverage, or cigarette or cigar. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
What was that? So right next to me, so like somebody was moving next to me,
I heard that.
and then right away I heard the noise. Well, you got me. Caught me off guard there. Are you back here in this corner?
Back around those 2 end corners.
Yeah. I didn't mean to scare you if I did. You just caught me off guard. So the nurse's station, it was me, Amanda, and Travis. And we were starting to do an investigation. Me, Travis, and Amanda were standing there. Amanda was reading off all of the, looking at the patients' names, because all the patients' names are still written in black magic marker on the shelves. Amanda said one name, and you hear a voice. I heard her voice on my recorder come through.
Could it be Clinton Brown?
No, no.
So what I hear is somebody saying Sean knows, and to me it's you can definitely tell there's an accent there. One of the investigators says it sounds like it could be some kind of a Canadian accent. I don't know. All I know is it sounds like you can tell there's an accent, and it sounds like Sean knows. And then there's another clip still in the same, like within maybe 10 seconds after that one, you hear something else coming through. Fireworks. Now that one, you hear me and Travis both say at the same time, fireworks. There's a lot of fireworks going off. But after we say that, you hear a noise after that. I don't know. It almost sounds like it could be saying, like agreeing with us or what it was, but it was right in the same area. So that was pretty interesting.
Chocolate beef jerky.
You know what's weird though about this place? Usually I don't get uneasy in most places we go to. Like I can kind of wander a little bit by myself.
Yeah.
But like this place, I feel anxious. And I don't know why. I've had
There's certain areas I don't like in here, but I don't want to.
Yeah, the down by where the shadow guy, I get a little
anxious over there.
Yeah. Like, I feel like as soon as I turn that corner, you're just gonna be like right in my face.
Yeah. Like even when I went to the attic, like I didn't want to go up there either for whatever reason. But I felt bad not going up there with.
It's just too tight for me in there. Like going upstairs.
Yeah, going up the stairs for
fucking
me
keeps
too.
bumping everything.
Yeah.
And
When I was up there, like, I don't know what it is with this place, but I feel like there's people I don't like. Yeah, man.
yeah, like, it's not you, but
Yeah.
can't help it.
Yeah, my battery died. Like everything else is dying today.
Oh,
What's her name again?
you have a draining personality.
Mary. Mary, I have that little green light that's on top of your sink there, right below your mirror. I don't know if you've seen those before. If you're close to it, lights up. Can you light it up for us? Just let us know you're in here. If Mary's not in here, is there somebody else that's in this room?
She's got like these change different colors besides blue. I should soup it out.
Usually I'm really calm in investigations, but this one I just want to start yelling at him. God damn it, start doing something.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you guys have seen me on investigations before. Lots of don't bother me. I get excited to go do things, but like, I don't know.
Even Travis usually is excited. He just, both of you seem a little drained. Patrick, you're the same. Half the time you just punk out after half of it.
I've been a paranormal investigator for over a year and a half now, and I've been to a good handful of places. Malvern Manor is ranked up as one of the places where I felt really uneasy, probably the most. I usually don't have a problem with going into a room by myself or doing things in the pitch dark by myself. But when it comes to Malvern Manor, that was a place where I didn't want to do that by myself. I just felt there's people looking at me in the corner of my eye when no one was there. I felt like if I looked into the dark area, something would be looking back at me. I felt rushed out of rooms. I didn't feel very comfortable going out by myself. Even in the command center where we all were hunkered down because there's only one had AC. Even in there with everyone around me, I still felt eyes on me that weren't part of the group. The Shadow Man hallway was one of those areas of the building where I probably felt the most uneasy. I really didn't want to go down there by myself. I felt whenever I was going down that way, I would pass Gracie's room and a few more steps would be the Shadow Man hall, and I always just felt someone's gonna run around that corner and get me. I wasn't the only one that kind of felt the energy of that hallway, as you can tell from Sean's experiences. That hallway definitely gave me some new experiences I haven't really experienced yet. I felt must have passed some threshold or something. I felt a lot of pressure on the back of my shoulders, my head, and Sean was there too. He felt the same thing I did. The rest of the house kind of had the same feel to it, except for Gracie's room. Her room, even though she's not a big fan of other women, she really likes men. So she was a little bit more, she was more willing to interact with us, and I felt a little bit more comfortable in her room. The upstairs was where I had another first time experience, was getting sick from something. And I wasn't the only one that got sick. It was me, Sean, and Amanda in the orange room. It was really hot up there, and maybe it was the heat, but we all got sick. I got really dizzy, and that was one of the first times where I just didn't feel good at all, like I was gonna get sick on an investigation. I never really had that experience before. Malvern Manor was just a place that housed a lot of fear and a lot of hatred from the patients mainly, to sexual assault from the men 17 and 18, to the shadow man who would chase the nurses, hatred for Mary because she hated herself so much. I definitely feel there's unfinished business left at Malvern Manor. I'd definitely like to go back and hang out with Gracie and conquer the uneasiness that we all felt.
Up and down the hallway.
So, that area that we were at yesterday when that demon on the...
That's the bad part. So just go on.